Hello and welcome to the auction of the ISU-122-2, and I can tell you that much, I'm not really convinced right now. I have to tell you this, that tank is an absolute glass cannon as far as I see. It will has its own good situations where it will shine because of the double punch and the good cannon, but all in all you can't play so active. As far as I know, we will go into the stats very soon. We're gonna take a look at the costs of this tank. 9,000 gold, so let's check it out. 9,000 gold, this must be around 33 euro, so it's not that crazy expensive right now if the price doesn't go up, but I think it will. But if you have to make up your mind, 30 euros, still I think a lot of money for an in-game pixel tank, and you have to think about if you will play this tank more times or just buy it and then look at it and nothing will happen, then it's just yeah, useless I think. But if you enjoy tank destroyer gameplay and want to have something on tier 8 from the Soviets, maybe you can give it a try. I think it's really a little bit shameful that we can't test play these tanks beforehand, but that's normal, I guess. Of course they want to sell something which is not known. This is something of a surprise somehow, and people have to make up their mind now if they want to spend that much money for maybe a tank which is not so good, or maybe a tank which works for them pretty good. As far as I can tell from the stats, which we will look very soon, that it's not so much fun to play for me, as far as I can tell. You have to be a specific kind of player to make this thing work, I guess. So you will have to make up your own mind about it, if it's worth the price for you. If you enjoy playing tank destroyers without a turret, if you enjoy playing weakly armored tanks with a good punch and a good cannon, that might be something for you, but I don't think it's really necessary now to go for the auction, because I think this might be even more expensive than 9,000 euro, 9,000 golds, yeah. And 9,000 gold is already enough, I think. And if it becomes more expensive, this tank will most likely be sold this year again, or definitely next year, I would say that much. Of course, I can't prove it somehow, but normally those tanks are sold again and again and again. You will have to wait a little bit, but I don't think this is the last time you will see this tank. So let's start with some overall server stats the last 30 days of the tier 8 tanks. And we have to search for the start, the amount of battles the tier 8s had, and the ISU-122. And it's one of the rarest tanks so far. So only a bunch of super testers are able to play this thing, I think. And it's completely overperforming. I don't know if that's any reliable data. I don't think so. I think the people who are playing this really know how to play it, and because of that, it's very good. Let's just check out the win rate of all tanks, and it's the third best of all tier 8 tanks. So this is quite a number, but definitely just 308 matches were played with that thing. So let's say it's around 10 people who played it. So not even. Well, very mysterious. But let's just check out the damage per game. It was able to do 2,100 damage. And let's just see for the fun of it, the block damage. It's more in the bottom part of all of the tanks. Yeah, it's pretty far down here. Not too bad. There are even quite a lot of tanks which are not bouncing as much, with around was it 224? Is that the amount of damage blocked? Yeah, so nothing to speak actually about. Just nothing you can count on, the armor of that thing, but we will talk about that very soon. So just looking at the stats, we can see it looks very good, but can it really be proven by other statistics? I don't think so, and it's just 308 matches which were played with that thing. So, but just, yeah, let's just check out the rest of the stats. So here it is, the ISU-122 number 2, or however you would call that. It's a double barrel tank destroyer from the Soviet Union. It looks like this, as it seems. And let's check out now the armor, which is, I think, very important to look at. And as you can already see, this tank will have actually kind of no armor. I don't know if it will work against tier 6 tanks, maybe that superstructure here is holding some tier 6 tanks away, but the rest at tier 8 definitely will be paper thin. Maybe not that part here. It's because the penetration of the ISU is pretty good, actually. It's not too bad for a tank destroyer, definitely, and it will shoot its own shells easily against its own superstructure. But yeah, you have to be aware of this is 190 millimeters armor, so if you have around 200 millimeters of penetration, this can be a problem at tier 8, but I think if you just load gold, then it will not be a problem at all. So you can see it can, to a certain degree, side scrape a little bit, but it won't be able to hide its own superstructure while it's side scraping. So I don't know, just lucky shots, I guess, will bounce at this thing. Or maybe if it's doing like this and you only shoot normal, yeah, for example, with your Progetto normal AP shells, then you will bounce here, you will bounce here. So if you know which tanks you are playing against, it can work, armor can work, but I think in yeah, most of tier 9 and tier 10 matches definitely not worth anything anymore. And big problem will be for you, if you play this tank, if you buy that, the artillery will just eat you up because like the roof of this tank is yeah, not existing almost with 35 millimeters. Yeah, you will eat a lot of damage from artillery, which is no fun at all, I can tell you. And yeah, if you take a look at the heat, so it's the second kind of ammunition it has. Everything becomes completely green, so if someone with around 300mm is shooting at you, you're just a big fat target. And with 258mm, it's still a big fat target as well, just with a little chance of maybe being able to side scrape some shells away. So it has an HE shell with 68mm of penetration, which is more than average, definitely. So you will have some easy chances to hit some weakly armored, for example, tank destroyers or light tanks or some medium tanks, but nothing it will be shooting the most times. So that's how the armor looks. Let's just take a look at the rest of the stats. It has 2440 damage per minute, around that, which is a good amount of damage at tier 8. Not the top of the pop, but also just a good amount. You can work with that, definitely. And 390 alpha damage is good as well. Nothing to be ashamed of. This is a good number. The penetration, as we already said, it's okay for a tank destroyer, definitely. And with heat, you have 300mm of penetration. It will work, definitely, to pen your shots if you're not too greedy and shoot gold against the tier 9 and tier 10 tanks, which require it. So let's see the reload time. It has two guns, of course, both around, or at all, it has 10 seconds of a reload time. Which combined with 2 shots of 390 damage, so it can burst out around 800 damage after it's reloaded, or after it has a charge time of 2 seconds. So that will be definitely kind of annoying. I think we have enough tanks which have such a huge alpha damage. It's something which belongs, in my opinion, only to tier 10, actually. Maybe some at tier 9, but at tier 8, all those poor tier 6 tanks you're fighting maybe against, you can sometimes just one-shot them with that charged gun, and I don't think this is pretty toxic for the game at all. But yeah, I think it will come like this. And let's talk more about the gun. With 2 seconds of aim time, it's actually pretty fast. So it's not the complete aim time, but I think the time which the circle needs to reduce itself by half its radius or something like this. So yeah, but you can compare it with other tanks. For example, let's take the Progetto. Let's go up here, and here we have the Progetto, and Progetto has an aim time of 2 seconds. Yeah, so it's even a little bit more. So this tank might have a good gun handling. The dispersion is 0.35. That can be lowered with equipment for sure. So it's gonna be kind of okay, definitely. Let's say it will be okay. It's maybe not the best sniper at all, yeah, of them all, but it will be able to work, and it has good soft stats. They are not extremely extraordinary, but if we check it with the Progetto, which I think has a great gun handling, it's 0.16, and the ISU even is a little bit better than the Progetto. So I think the gun will be comfortable to play, but the problem will be, I think the 10 seconds reload time will be quite a lot for one gun, and then you have to wait another 10 seconds for the second gun. So, and I think you can't shoot after 7 seconds after the first gun is reloading. So I think it will be a little bit fucked if you do your double shot, and then you can't yeah, brawl with that thing mostly. So you have to do your, at best, both shots at all, and then you have to drive back. So I think that will be the whole gimmick about that tank. Try to ambush someone, give him the double shot, and then just drive backwards. And when we come to the speed of a tank, and it has quite a good reverse speed. When yeah, here we have it, 20 kilometers per hour backwards. That will work better than with other tank destroyers, especially from the Soviets. So for this strategy, this might be working somehow, and all in all it has a good top speed, so it will come to its designated part of the map, and it will not lose so much speed due to the kind of okay terrain resistance numbers. The big problem will be, besides the armor, the gun depression, which is just 5 degrees, which will be extremely annoying, and most places where this tank actually could play will be not able to be played because of that low gun depression. And the view range is kind of bad too, so you will mostly, if you don't have the best equipment just for spotting, you will not be able to spot the whole amount of the map over the circle, the view range circle of 450 meters. I don't think you will reach it with just normal equipment. So all in all, I would say it's gonna be a bad deal, I am afraid. It will work at some maps, in some situations definitely. The gun will be okay, I think people can enjoy that somehow, but if you have so less armor or not enough armor, I mean this is 190 millimeters, this will work at tier 8 if the enemies don't shoot gold, yeah, but nowadays, I mean, everyone is able to press the number 2 at the keyboard, and yeah, maybe this will not be worth the money. I'm afraid this will just not be worth the money. Maybe if it's if it would be around 20 euro or something like this, I would say you can give it a try. That doesn't sound so bad, but here it says 8,000, around 8,000 gold. Let's just check it out. This will be 29 euro, around that, and if it goes for the auction, it will be more, I guess. So 29 euro, I think it's too much. I think it's too much. It's not worth it, in my opinion. But yeah, you will have to find it out if you want to buy it now, or you can wait for it to be sold sometimes in the future. I think it will be sold again. Doesn't look OP to me like other tanks which are not sold again. And yeah, I think that was the most important stuff about it. The HP, it's not too much, but it's not like extremely, it's not too low. It can work, but I don't know. It will be annoying to play on most maps, I think, because it will have to really use its double shot so it can trade well, because I think every time you are driving out of your bush, you will be spotted. Yeah, let's talk about the camo values as well. They are not great too. They are okay. Let's check the Progetto, for example. The Progetto has a little bit less stationary camo, and it's a medium tank. This is a tank destroyer and has a little bit more, but it won't be enough, I think, to be hidden the whole time. Without making your forts where you are standing and driving back and stuff like this. So it will be spotted most likely, and when it has to trade, it's 800 damage at best against just hitting or eating one shot from the enemy. Alright guys, I hope this helped you. If you buy the tank, I hope you will enjoy it. Maybe you can tell me if it's worth it, if it was worth it, if it's a cool thing to do. And if not, I don't think you have to be sad, because I think this tank will be sold at some months later, maybe half a year later or something like this. It will not be hidden away forever, that's for sure, I think. And so I just wish you all the best if you're trying to make this work. And have a great day, and good luck in the auction if you buy for it. See you guys next time, and thanks, bros.